Now at 6, the Miami Civic Center opens its doors to the public as temperatures drop around the 4 states. Plus, we have some advice from the experts on how to make sure your house is protected against the cold. And diehard Chiefs fans get ready to make the chilly trip to KC to cheer on their team.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Round 2 of winter hits the 4 states with sub-freezing temperatures. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The Miami Civic Center is opening up its doors to all those seeking shelter due to the cold. KOAM's Anthony Saviello joins us live from the Civic Center with more.
Yeah, I'm right here in the Miami Civic Center. As you can see behind me, no one is actually kind of taken shelter yet, but cots are set up. They have blankets, pillows. They do have a whole table over here filled with extra clothing, extra blankets, food, drinks, extra provisions for anyone who does come in and seek shelter. They're already open, and then they'll remain open probably until Wednesday morning. So I also talked to Rick Aldridge. He's kind of been the person heading up this whole endeavor, and he told me just kind of what he's gone through this year and what he hopes for the future.
As people around the 4 states prep their own homes for the cold weather, Rick Aldridge and volunteers in Miami are prepping the Miami Civic Center for those in need of shelter.
The Civic Center, as you can tell just by the sheer size, offers so much that sometimes maybe the church, just because of size, can't. We can put a lot more people in, we can separate them better, and we've got access to, it's basically a gymnasium. So we have access to bathrooms and showers and everything else that you might need.
The shelter here at the Miami Civic Center isn't just scrapped together. Not only will people who come here be provided with a cot, there are separate restrooms for men and women. There's warm showers, and those who come here will also be provided with food and drink. This year, Rick was able to get support from the city and Mayor Bless Parker, which would allow him to use the center as a shelter.
It's been a blessing, it really has. I work really close with the mayor and Chief Hightower. He's our city emergency manager. And I've done this now for a lot of years. And we try to get ahead. Sometimes we can't, but we try to get ahead, prepare so that when things do happen, we're up and open and ready on the spot.
Rick's biggest concern is a term that's been used in recent forecasts: flash freeze.
It kind of caught me off guard when I heard some of the forecasters start using that term this week, because it's just a lot of people around here have not heard that term before, haven't faced it, so we're concerned about it.
Despite that concern, Rick is determined to provide for all those in need. Reporting in Miami, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Yeah, and as you saw there, Tanya, Mayor Bless Parker was right here in the Civic Center setting up cots. He was joined by another person who is running for office next year. So there's people here, and they're dedicated not for any selfish reason. They're here to make this shelter sustainable for anyone who really needs it. So, and after talking to both Rick and the mayor, both of them are all in, and they plan to hopefully find a more permanent solution. So that way, unlike in years past where they've had to go to different shelters, use churches, luckily they had the Civic Center open this year, but their hope is that they can find a more permanent space next time that this kind of comes around. So we'll look forward to hearing more about that if that happens, and we'll keep everyone updated. Back to you, Tanya.
All right, thanks, Anthony. And of course, we're in for a long, cold weekend, and that shelter will definitely come in handy. Thank you very much. Well, if you are getting out in this cold, definitely bundle up, but don't forget to make sure the utilities in your residence are protected against the cold as well. Pittsburgh Utilities says there are ways to keep your water pipes from freezing.
People make sure that they either let their faucets drip, they open up cabinets, especially on exterior walls, especially if they're a north-facing wall or a west-facing wall, that they open up their cabinets and make sure there's heat from the house, able to get in their cabinets. If they need to keep a pipe dripping to make sure that their water pipes don't freeze, make sure that all their crawl spaces are closed up.
And remember, the cold can be dangerous. If you have to leave your house, We've got tips for avoiding hypothermia on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, it's going to be super cold, much colder than what we have seen over the past couple days. Our first big Arctic blast of the winter season. Outside, at least the roads are dry, but temperatures sitting lower 20s to upper teens. Of course, it's going to drop more as we go through the overnight hours. 27 at Grand Lake, 19 Lamar. Iola is sitting at 15 degrees. And we have these northwesterly winds kicking in 10 to 15 to 20 miles per hour. And of course, what that does to us is it makes it feel even colder than what it actually is. So the way it feels to your skin, -3 in Iola, 9 Independence, 16 Grand Lake, Carthage, it feels like 6 degrees. We also have wind chill advisories in effect all the way until Tuesday, as we are going to have wind chills over the weekend dropping to about -20 or -25 for overnight wind chills. Of course, we're going to be talking more about that, another round of light snow as well, here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs will host the Miami Dolphins tomorrow in what is expected to be one of the coldest games ever played at Arrowhead Stadium. Some four-state diehard fans will bundle up to watch the game in person. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to them to hear their strategies to keep themselves warm.
Electric socks, even my wife even has electric gloves. We have everything packed in the bag. We're going to need like extra batteries, Kleenex, hot hands, towels to wipe off the seats if there's snow on them, things like that.
The list of items Josh Smootz and his wife will take to the Chiefs game this weekend goes on.
Under Armour pants on, and then I'll have my jeans on, and then I'll have ski pants over that. So there's 3 layers there. And then layers on the head, whether it's a head cover or, a gaiter to cover your neck and pull up over your face if you need to.
All of that is to make sure they will be warm during a dangerously cold game. The Schmutz family learned from experience, but they appreciate being able to feel all of that.
Everybody's having to deal with the elements. We've gone to dome stadiums, and just the atmosphere isn't the same because you just feel like you're indoors, almost like watching the game on TV. Whereas when you're there live and it's outside, it's just magic.
The Joplin brothers, Derek and Joe Rattigan, are also facing the cold and plan to wear many layers.
7 to 10 probably. A lot. I won't be able to move, it'll be a lot.
While the layers will help, Mahomes' team is also implementing some changes on their game day to make sure fans are warm. The Chiefs are allowing fans to take cardboard pieces to be used as floor mats and protect the feet from the cold concrete. The team is also allowing guests to carry in blankets, but there's only one thing these diehard fans really want.
As long as we get a win, that's all I care about.
We're just good luck, so we know if we're there, we're going to win.
Reporting in the 4 states, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
True meaning of diehard fans. Well, the Arrowhead Stadium will offer warming stations to help fans stay warm, and hot chocolate will be available for purchase in the stadium as well. Well, later in sports, a big night for a local rivalry on the basketball court. Brock has a preview of Fort Scott versus Field Kinley in just a few minutes. But first, Jasper County authorities search for the suspect in a stabbing incident at a bus stop. Authorities in Jasper County are searching for a man who they say stabbed an 18-year-old in the neck at a bus stop. This is a surveillance image of the suspect in the car he's believed to have been driving. Authorities say they responded to the bus station in Dunawig and found an 18-year-old from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, with a stab wound to his neck. He was taken to the hospital and is said to be in stable condition. If you have any information on the suspect in this case, you're asked to contact the sheriff's office. Liberty Utilities has issued a statement concerning a collapsed wind turbine from a couple of days ago. The energy provider said an assessment of why the wind turbine collapsed is underway. North Fork Ridge Wind Farm remains online, and the collapse has not impacted the generation at the facility. Liberty says there is no estimation for the completion of the assessment. A little later, the Chiefs prepare for their first playoff opponent, but a bigger story may be the weather. Brock has more on how the cold might be a tough opponent this weekend.
Yeah, and those temperatures are going to get even colder as we go into the weekend. Another chance for snow as well. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, big change for us today from what we had yesterday when we actually pushed 60 degrees. And then most of the day we've been sitting into lower 20s. We did get a little bit of freezing drizzle this morning and some light snow showers, but roads are fine. Outside right now, it's just the temperatures and the wind which is causing the issues. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the weekend. All right, look at the Arctic air. So Sioux Falls sitting at 3, -9, Rapid City, Lincoln at 4, it's 13 in Kansas City. So this Arctic air continues to plunge off toward the south and to the east. And it's not going anywhere for the next several days. Look at our 24-hour temperature change. So this time last night, it was 30 to about 35 degrees warmer than what we are seeing right now. And it's dropping at 17 in Stockton, 23 in Neosho. We have 27 in Veneta. Iola is sitting at 15 degrees. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline sitting at 22. Westerly winds at 18. Gust at 28. Gives you a wind chill factor, making it feel at about 5, 6, 7 degrees. Northwesterly winds, they stay fairly strong as we go through the evening hours. They will start to lighten up a little bit late tonight, but look at our wind chill factors. It feels like 0 in Stockton, Fort Scott -3 in Iola, feels like 10 in Cassville, 16 in Veneta, and these are going to get a lot worse as we go into the weekend. In fact, let's go into tomorrow morning. Wind chills 0 to -5. As we get into tomorrow evening, wind chills are dropping now -5 to -15. And then as we go into Sunday morning, wind chills anywhere from -15 to -25. So of course, very dangerously cold outside. And this is what we're going to see, wind chill advisory all the way through Tuesday. All right, this system rolling east, heading away from us, clear skies out to our west. There's a weak little wave right across Wyoming that could give us a few flurries tomorrow. And then here's our next wave, which is going to move in by Sunday. So until then, we're pretty quiet. All right, let me walk you through time. 10 to 12 degrees tonight. Clouds increase tomorrow. You can see a few light little snow showers in our northern counties, so don't be surprised if you see a quick snow shower or a few flurries. Sitting mid-teens tomorrow afternoon. We clear out tomorrow night. That's going to allow those temperatures to drop. So -1, -2, -3 degrees. Now, as we get into Sunday, look at this. So by Sunday afternoon, light snow pushes in, could be moderate snow in our southern counties. So that's something we're going to have to watch. In fact, I'm going conservative on these amounts. They could go up, but southern counties closer to 3 inches. Let's go 1, maybe 2, Joplin, Pittsburgh. Dusting upwards to 1 inch. I think these amounts will go up instead of down, so that's what we're going to watch. So I do think we'll get some road impacts as we go into Sunday, Monday, because you got to remember, when it's 5 degrees outside and snowing, anything that drops is going to stick. Alert days next 3 days, 17 tomorrow, -1 tomorrow night, only 8 on Sunday, only 11 on Monday, only 14 on Tuesday, and then we get to a mild, like shorts weather Wednesday and Thursday, back to 33 degrees.
I'm surprised I didn't see more people out with shorts yesterday.
I know, it was actually pretty nice.
It was the calm before the,
Yep.
yeah. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, the Fort Scott girls and boys basketball teams look to keep their hot streak going. And our sports reporter, Brock Baldridge, previews tomorrow night's playoff game between the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Those stories and more next in sports.
Well, we are just getting underway in conference play in the SCK. The Fort Scott boys and girls teams are off to blazing hot starts. The girls remain undefeated while the boys are 7-1 to begin the year. The girls game is just getting underway in Fort Scott. Lady Tigers face the Field Kinley Golden Tornado tonight. Fort Scott is looking to remain undefeated. We'll have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10. Then the second game of the night will be the boys team. Same opponent, same gym. The Tigers look to bounce back after their loss to Pittsburgh earlier in the week. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. We'll have highlights from each game right here tonight at 10. Well, it is playoff week for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are putting in the final touches ahead of their wild card game against the Miami Dolphins. Of course, the big talking point from this game all week has been the outdoor elements. Well, some outlets are predicting that the wind chill for this game could be as low as, well, negative 30 degrees. It's the fourth time in franchise history that the Chiefs have met the Dolphins in the postseason. Unfortunately, history has not been on the Chiefs' side when these two teams meet in postseason play. And of course, this is the second time that these two teams have met, with the first being in Frankfurt, Germany.
Look forward to the challenge of playing the Dolphins again. Should be a great environment up at the stadium here. And I know our fans will be fired up and ready to go. I mean, it's cold's cold for you, me. I mean, it's cold is cold, but you go do your thing. That's how you go play.
It's like I said, it's just new. It's new. It's a new feel. It's a new challenge to find ways to get open. It's a new challenge to find ways to get wins. I think I went up to Menahu after one game or during one game and said, "Man, we just got to become a team that just grinds these games out, man. It's not the same NFL as it was for us a few years ago, and for whatever reason, when it comes down to third, fourth quarter, we just got to be able to grind it out as a team."
Well, Wild Card Weekend begins this Saturday for the Chiefs, and with that being said, that brings us to our playoff edition with this week's Minute with Mitch.
It's playoff time, and this week the Chiefs are preparing for maybe the coldest postseason game they've ever had. It's also easy to take for granted that Kansas City has won 11 postseason games the past 5 years, after winning 9 in the 57 years prior to that. My mind goes back to last season when veteran Carlos Dunlap, who had never won a playoff game in 12 seasons, won his first, when the Chiefs beat Jacksonville in the divisional playoff round. And I remember the tears in his eyes. How about this year's team? Linebacker Drew Tranquill, who lost the only playoff game he's ever been in. Take it from someone who waited 21 years for a playoff win. You never forget the first one. This week, the Chiefs will try to advance. But for a couple Chiefs, it's even bigger than that on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
Well, that's a look for sports. We'll be back right after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have some tips to safely use a space heater during the extreme cold. Plus, the Spy the Center for the Arts in Joplin showcases 3 new exhibits, and how a video game was used to find a teen missing in real life. Those stories and a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. All right, we've got lots of cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold tonight. We're going to drop back to 12 degrees. 17 tomorrow, an alert day. Wind chill factors near 0 throughout the day. -1 tomorrow night. Only 8 on Sunday. We are going to get some light snow Sunday. The farther south you live, the better chances you have for it to start to really pile up. So we're going to keep our eyes on that over the next few days.
Thank you for not putting the feels like on there.
I know, jeez.
Yikes. Well, thanks for watching, and we will see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.